Sitting here with Hawkshaw Hawkins Jr. For we're doing a Chase Your Dreams documentary. I want to talk to you a little bit about you and your father and your mother, both Grand Ole Opry members, stars. And father's got a great, incredible past as well as your mother. And what comes to your mind when you think about your father?
Well, he died a month before I was born, and I never got to meet him. Now, his best friends, of course, were Marty Robbins, so Marty told me some stories. Harlan Howard was a dear friend, and Harlan told me some stories about Hawk, so it's kind of been cool that I come up and people give me tidbits and stuff that he's done at shows, and it's really been a unique life having two parents on the Grand Ole Opry, and of course Mom's in the Hall of Fame, and it's really neat to grow up in my shoes. I'm truly blessed, and glad it was me that was put in these shoes.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I mean, did you ever feel like you had the high standards or expectations to live up to?
I did. Of course, when I was young, I was trying to be a rock star.
Yeah.
And then I started writing some music and realizing that, I could really do this. I could sing. And so I really started putting forth an effort towards country music. I thought I was going to be Eddie Van Halen when I was 25, but instead I should have been trying to be Hawkshaw Hawkins. And by then I had a couple kids, and that slowed me down a little bit, but still, yeah, there's very high expectations, probably some that I'll never meet, but I just try to be a good man and do the best I can for my mother and father's name and legacy.
For sure. What's some of your bigger influence as far as you writing? You mentioned you've had some song cuts before.
Yeah, I've had Hank Williams and Ronnie McDowell cuts, Davis Daniels cut some, Sean Camp. Some of these guys have cut some of my songs. I've never had the one to really buy the farm yet, but I've got a 500 song catalog, and surely there's 5 in there. I just can't call Alan Jackson on the phone and say, "Hey, Alan, I got a song for you." I had some publishers, had Harlan Howard for a little while I wrote for, and he would pitch some of my songs, but really they can't record them if they don't ever hear them.
Right. It's kind of a lot of steps, the whole process.
It sure is, and I just don't have their numbers, because if I did, I'd call them.
You done been burning them up with
Yes, sir. That's correct.
You done bought 2 farms by now.
I would have bought 2 farms by now.
I hear you. What's some of your favorite songs that your mother and father's?
My father did a song called "If I Ever Get Rich, Mom," and I've always loved that song. If I ever get rich, Mom, the first thing I'll do is buy a big gold mine and give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
If I ever get rich, Mom, you'll have heaven right here, for your love and devotion are precious, my dear. And my mama is such an awesome, beautiful lady that that song has really stuck out for me from my father. Of course, Lonesome 77203 was his hit. That was #1 when he died. It went #1 2 days before he died. So he got to see his first #1 song before the plane crash, and I was glad to see that. At least it didn't happen 2 days after.
And speaking of your father, he passed away in the plane crash with Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline in 1963, March 5th. He wasn't supposed to be on that plane. They were doing a show. Jack McCall was a DJ out in Kansas City, Missouri, I believe it was. And he had been in a crash and left a wife and a couple kids, and all the stars knew him, so they went out and did a big benefit show for him. Well, my father was taking the commercial flight. He had the plane ticket, and Billy Walker's father, they got a phone call that Billy's father had a heart attack. So Hawk, back in those days, it wasn't quite as complicated. Hawk just gave Billy the ticket and said, "You get your butt home to your daddy."
Right.
He said, "I don't mind. I can come in tomorrow. I'll just take the little plane with Patsy and Cowboy." And then the accident happened. And Billy Walker and I, before his passing, we discussed it, and he felt bad because that was supposed to have been him on that plane, but still, my dad did the right thing, I believe, and I'm not mad at Billy at all. And I love his family. They're a great bunch of people, and yeah, it's kind of sad, but I would rather it happen before I was born than me be 14 and get to know him and then it happened. So, right. You know, the things that I hear down through the years are great. You know, just great things, and I'm truly blessed.
And you yourself has had the opportunity to play on the Grand Ole Opry and the Ryman.
Yes, sir.
What was that kind of feeling like coming from a kid wanting to
it was crazy, man. I mean, I'm not scared to go on stage at all. You know, I've done it enough. But when they said, would you come do the Ryman? I said, well, sure. You know, boy, I thought I was fluting high, you know, hobnobbing with the big dogs. And I got out there on that stage and my throat seized up. And I'm looking down, I'm standing in a round circle where it's the old part of the stage where my daddy stood. Yeah. And I'm sitting and I'm taking a mental picture, and y'all let me stand here a minute so I can get a mental picture of what my mom and daddy look at every night. And I told the people, I said, you know, I'm so proud and privileged to be standing in this square. It wasn't a square, it was a circle. So I kind of felt like an idiot, but yeah, that was probably the most special show that I've ever done, was getting to my first time on the Ryman.
Yeah, that man, it happens to us all. That anxiety kick is.
Yeah, well, it's a rush. And then my chest will get to shivering a little bit. My throat's doing this. And I'm like, oh my God. But I pulled it off well.
It's almost like you can't wait for this big moment to happen once it's booked, and then you do it, and then as soon as it's over, it's like you kind of always want to go back, or you look back on something.
Yeah, I wished I could do it one more time. You know, my voice was a little shaky right there. In 1954, I think, had the song of the year. It was called a Dear John letter. It went #1 and stayed #1 for 22 weeks. It was a duet with her and Ferlin Husky, and that song bought a farm.
Right.
She really made a lot of money on that and did great. And she's had several #1s. She's had a career that spans over 60 years as a member of the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
She's here in a couple months. She will celebrate her 61st anniversary on the Opry. She's the longest tenured member of the Grand Ole Opry right now.
That's amazing.
She's in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and she paved the way for the Connie Smiths, the Gina Seeleys, the Loretta Lynn's. Yeah. You know, she was back there. She was before Patsy. You know, Patsy never had a band. Yeah. Never. Wow. She would always use a house band or somebody at the shows with her band. Mm-hmm. She never had a band. Mama was driving around in a big old station wagon with a bass fiddle sticking out of the back. Mama used it as a pillow, she's told me before.
I hear you.
So Mama, I'm really proud of her, and she's doing well. I see her every day, and she's got a great appetite. Boy, we eat, we grill out, and we go out on the back deck, and I'll play the guitar. Mama just sings, and she knows every word to every country music song there is. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Out of everything that your father and mother's been recorded, what's your favorite songs from each one? I know you said your father.
Yeah, already. If I ever get rich, Mom would probably be the one from my father. My mother had a song that was written by the Statler brothers, Harold and Don, which is coincidental that my brother's named Don and my name's Harold. Oh, wow. But they wrote a song. They're from Virginia, the Statler brothers are. Mm-hmm. And they wrote a song called Virginia that my mother recorded. And it's my favorite song that she did. And she's got another one called Are You Sincere that was on Capitol Records. And that's probably my second favorite. But, you know, she's got, those weren't big hits for her. Mm-hmm. They were chart records. Yeah. But them big ones just slipping away. And Dear John, they pale in comparison to me. Hearing Mom sing Virginia and Are You Sincere, it really shows her vocal talent and the way she brought it back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Does she have any certain one big story or something that she talks about, or for the good time that she likes to?
No, well, she's got several stories. She's very, very ticklish in the ribs. Oh, so whatever you do, don't walk up behind Mama if she's got her purse in her hand, especially, and grab her ribs. But no, we're friends with the Cashes and you know, Roy Orbison spent 2 weeks at my mama's, you know. My stepfather, Benny, who was an Osborne brother, he drove bus for Roy Orbison for years, and Roy was his best friend. So I really got to know Roy extremely well, and Roy had Eddie Van Halen call my brother one time.
Oh,
and
wow.
my brother thought he was Eddie Van Halen, and he actually called my brother one time. Did Roy a favor. It was really cool.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being with me on the Chase Your Dream documentary.
Ryan, thank you so much. You're a great guy.
Yes, sir, man. And tell your mother hi for everybody.
I sure will.
We love her and much respect. That's a queen right there.
Thank you.
One of the big queens of country music. And
Thank you very much.
We'll hope to see you soon.
I hope so.
And
we'll
maybe do
get
something.
we'll get that show lined up.
Yeah, we'll work on something big.
See you guys.
Take care.
See you, Ryan, my buddy.